Hello, hello guys. This is Docam, and I'm playing on the Mindcrack server. And I actually have to make me own chest for presents now. That's how we roll here on the server. Oh yeah. At the moment, Mr. Beat-Ups is on, and I think Zisto. I think they're also recording at the moment. Toy Train, that was a present. Those books not. Carrot. Dog, that's mine. This was a present. The slime ball was a present. And rail that came from the toy train. Pickup sticks. And the rest. Beat-Ups just left. And came back again. So yeah guys, it is New Year. The year 2013. And yesterday I was at a nice party at a friend's house, having a nice meal there, and after that we went to another party, having fun there. I enjoyed it a lot. And today guys, I need to rip out the sand generator. Oh. Do it, brother. And yeah, I wanna rip that out today, as I'm not using it anyways because it's broken, and I don't wanna try to fix it because it can't be fixed. Yeah, they figured out what they had to do to, yeah, finally fix it, and now yeah, the times of sand generators are gone. Not really too sad about it. It was fun while it lasted, and now it's time to replace this with something else I could use. Um, might put another farm here. That could be quite good. But you guys let me know in the comments if you have any feedback or ideas what we could put here. Let's just hollow it out and take out the insides for now, and then we'll see. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this year a little bit, because yeah, we live in a time, it's a fast moving time. So many things happen. There's news from all over the world, and I kind of thought about what happened this year, and I, yeah, remembered some of the things that happened, and I wanted to bring that back to your memory, and maybe yeah, give my own thoughts about it here and there, how I experienced this. And yeah, I wanna. There's some tragedy, of course, involved. Not only positive things happen throughout a year. Mostly when you hear the big news, it is about some tragedies that might have happened, or some, yeah, horrible things, accidents and stuff. And there was one bad accident at the beginning of the year. It was the so-called. It was in January, and the cruise ship Costa Concordia. Freaking woodpeckers! They chased me in the new year. The cruise ship Costa Concordia, yeah, sunk with a lot of tourists on there, and yeah, over 30 people were dead. If I remember correctly, it was 32 people, and it was caused by, yeah, the captain of the ship just making a mistake, and it was a horrible tragedy. Actually, one of my former colleagues, one of co-workers, they had a ticket booked for this trip, and just because her husband didn't feel well or something, I can't quite remember, but they didn't take part in the cruise. And yeah, that was pretty intense then, if you thought about it. And yeah, she was actually really depressed for a long time after that, because yeah, it's kind of shocking, if you think, wow, I could have been on there. So I don't know, we are reaching quite a lot of people here with the videos, so chances are there might be some amongst you who have relatives or people involved in one of the events I might address. And if it is so, then yeah, sorry guys, and I hope your families handled it well, if you can say that, or recovered from the tragedies well after, yeah. It's hard to say. You know what I mean. Sometimes I'm just lacking words for stuff like that, and it's hard for me to, yeah, say the correct things. Yeah, let's just move on. Another thing that happened, for example, the band Pussy Riot. I'm pretty sure you guys heard about it. It's a Russian punk band, and they're known to criticize the state and authorities is in Russia and yeah, basically all over the world. But of course, they're focusing mainly on Russia because they are from there. And yeah, they did a little video in a church in Russia, and the Russian government, namely Mr. Putin, who also got re-elected this year, if you can speak of a real election in Russia, they took this chance to arrest Pussy Riot, and actually they were sentenced to 2 years of Gulag. That is a forced labor camp, still exists in Russia, and they were all sent there. And yeah, their freedom of speech is basically completely denied. And also since that, the laws of freedom of speech and and yeah, public protest and so on have been way more strict in Russia. The Russian government took that as a chance to kind of, yeah, pull their will through, and even make it more easy for them to control the free people of Russia. And it is kind of sad that still in our times some countries like that can get away with leaders. I'm also still looking at North Korea, for example, a bit, who are clearly, suppressing the people. I'm not saying that the Western democracy is a role model society, not at all. And probably it's also not a system that works for each and every cultural background. But freedom is something that is really precious, and you should be at least be able to speak your mind. And I think the recording dropped there for a second. And yeah, say what you want. I think that is important, and at least to a certain extent that is possible, or to a greater extent, in free forms of civilization like the one we are living in, or most of you are living in the Western Hemisphere. So another thing that happened, and let me see, in Germany, for example, I don't know, I'm not sure if that was real international news, but that is kind of fitting with what I just said when I said the Western political system is, of course, also not perfectly flawless, because where there's people, there's mistakes and there is greed and things like that. And a good example was Christian Wolff this year. He was the president of Germany. The president of Germany more or less has a representative function, and we're done with ripping out the thing now. I now want to work over at the bridge a bit. And it's not like the president of the United States. He's more like, yeah, representing the German country, or all over the place, and being a friendly, supportive dude. That's how we see it. Uncle President, not really super influential. And yeah, funny Uncle President. And what he did was he was using his former political position to, oh man, I need shears. We need to gather a lot of jungle leaves to keep on building. Yeah, we need to go on a leaf collection trip. And yeah, he was using his position to get a lot of cheap credits and so on. Know what I mean? So really foul, and yeah, that's how it went. He got kicked out of his office after people found out what he was doing, and was replaced by Joachim Gauck, which is the new president of Germany now. Let me see, I have random crap on me again. Stored it away. Pistons. How could I dare to say it's crap? Of course not, it's pistons, it's not crap. Yeah, and that was something that happened in Germany and caused a lot of discussions. Also, there were forged doctor diplomas and so on this year in the politics again. So you always see, let's put that in here. Next episode I'm gonna sort stuff here. You can bet I'm getting chaotic again. That's for sure. Let's put that away. Want some inventory space so we can collect a lot of leaves. Alright. Should be okay. Some food. The signs can go in. Don't have a science chest yet. Nope. Really have to do that soon. Alright, let's get down there. Gonna ride over to our other jungle there and cut some leaves. And yeah, another thing that happened as well in March or around March, kind of a, yeah, there were quite a lot of Arabic and or Islamic countries or Muslim countries, let's say it like that, not like extremist countries or whatever. And there were revolutions and people demanded free elections and so on. And one example would be Egypt, where the Muslim brothers gained the most votes and now are having the president of Egypt. It was actually the first freely elected president of in Egypt ever. And yeah, it's Musri. His name is Musri, if I remember correctly. No, Morsi. Excuse me. His name is Morsi. And yeah, for example, in Syria, there's still the process of a revolution against the long-year dictator. I'm pretty sure you heard of him as well, Bashar Assad. He's the still president in Libya, and 10,000 have been dead already, where the rebels are fighting him. And yeah, the Western governments are supporting, but seems like there were some conclusions drawn from the failed attempts to intervene in Afghanistan and Iraq, where you see a clear destabilization of the region after the Western troops have interfered. It's just, we have a certain idea how a society should run, but these ideas cannot be 100% implemented, as I said before, to other old cultural society or cultures. It's not like there's a different culture and it has to be a slow transition, and we can support, but if you look at it, the rebels, 10,000 died, a lot of people there, civilians and so on, so you think you should intervene, but it's a tough decision to make for Western leaders. What do we want to do there? From a humanitarian standpoint, you think if something like that happens, you have to go there and take care of it and help these people. That is something that happened, and but not only you are aggressive, you are really aggressive. Not only very bad stuff happened. For example, in science, there were some very, very interesting breakthroughs. If you look at the CERN, the CERN, it's the superfast particle collider in Switzerland, and it's one of the biggest international science projects. A lot of very smart scientists from all over the world are there and doing experiments. It's about physics, it's about the future, it's about finding out how things work, what makes the world tick. And one particle or part that was missing, and excuse me if I'm not using the super correct terminology here. As I said, sometimes I just don't know the specific terms in English. But one of the most important parts that was still missing was the Higgs boson. So we could explain how matter was formed, and that was basically the last part. And this year, scientists actually were able to confirm the existence of the Higgs boson by colliding particles, super fast, and thus, give me that leaves, confirming that the particle part is actually there. That is really cool. Also, what else did happen? Let me think. Towards the middle of the year, if you talk about science, how about curiosity? Curiosity. You still remember that TV show? In this case, Curiosity is the name of another Mars rover that was sent up to space by the NASA. and it went to Moon. It's since then to Mars, and since then it's providing us with very epic pictures, you know, from the Mars surface, and it's also trying to prove water and yeah, checking out the place up there for us. Just really impressive if you think about it. You know, you send the thing up there for months. It's traveling there over huge potato over a huge distance. You are able to control it, and yeah, it's like an RC, your own little RC car on the Mars, which is pretty epic. And in case there's some Marsmen there seeing that thing, they might think, all right, these guys on Earth got pretty cool RC cars. But so far, no life was discovered on Mars. And also, there's always these stories with the faces and structures on Mars. None of that has been confirmed yet, but you never know. A lot of people saying there's the government trying to hide many things from the public. I don't even want to get into that discussion. It is an endless discussion. Of course, there is things that are kept secret, but I assume if NASA would, find structures or ruins or something, they would, make a big deal out of it because that would give them new funding, as the funding was cut short this year or last year because of the monetary problems the United States have at the moment forming their household. All right. And another thing that happened in 2013, creepers are still annoying. Well, we don't have to worry. The stuff, oh man, another woodpecker. The stuff we have over there should not be despawning, and maybe a lesson I could learn for 2013 is to finally wear some armor when I go off out of the security of my base to avoid things like that. Because even if you play Minecraft for years, the creeper still can get you. That sucked. Alright, let's get some wood. Make us a boat real quick here. So yeah, we were about August, in the middle of the year. Oh, good. Saved that iron bar here. Let's go. And let me think. We were talking about technology. Around August, September, I believe, there was another pretty crazy event. I don't know if a lot of people are super aware of it, but there was a huge power shortage in India. Actually, 600 million people were without electricity. It was the biggest. There's another one out there. We need to get out of here. Teleport. Oh, all right. It was the biggest power shortage in the history of mankind. I mean, yeah, we don't have like a 100-year-old tradition, hundreds of year tradition with electricity, but it's been around for a while. If you think about it, 600 million people are without electricity. I mean, that's the whole US. Bam. Power gone. Pretty crazy if you ask me. And yeah, that is another thing that happened. Let me see. I think we should talk about politics again. Oh man, this will be troublesome. This will be very troublesome now. Might talk about politics again. There was this movie this year, like a pretty cheap, crappy movie. Oh man. It was called The Innocence of the Muslim, and the skeleton got our sword. It was called The Innocence. Are you serious? The Innocence of the Muslims. You look at it. He's got it. Freaking. He can't shoot. That's good. Man, they picked up all my gear. Of course they did. Whoa! Oh. That is funny. That is funny now. I wanted to make a easy episode. Now I have to prepare even before we go over there. All right. Yeah. What did I? Yeah, I talked about this. The movie. It was kind of a mock. Yeah, it mocked Islam, and whenever that happens, normally extremist Islam believers or extremist Muslim people, let's better say it like that, see that as a really a bad it provokes them badly and get mad. And yeah, what they did is in some areas, I think it was in Sudan and other places, they attacked the embassies of Western countries, and an American ambassador was killed by a angry mob. Mostly, those people that get agitated by yeah extremist religious leaders, and it is. Let's see, we have some stuff here. Yeah, take an helmet. We even got a diamond sword, chain boots. Yeah, that should help us to grab our stuff. I think I'm gonna make me a chest plate even. Let's make an iron one. Yep. Yeah, and it's still true. Multitasking is a myth. It's really hard for me if I have to focus on two things at the same time, like I'm talking right now and having a plan what we need to do to get our gear back. If the Skelly is holding an item in the hand, so he should not despawn. He should be still there. That is something they changed as well, which is really useful. Okay, now maybe we can face him. Man, let's make us another boat. Let me think, what else happened this year? In October, of course, around October. Was it October? Could be, but yeah, we all remember Sandy hitting New York and other areas of the East Coast, United States. Although people were prepared well, there was still over 200 people dead, not in the United States alone, but worldwide, and huge $1 billion of damage. I can't remember the numbers, but it was a pretty ridiculous number. But still, yeah, it was not as bad as expected because people were actually prepared for it. We knew it was coming, and yeah. Still, some friends living in New York reported how it was. Onyx Tiger, for example, he was there, and we had a downtime on the Mindcrack server because one of the data centers actually was affected as well by Sandy. Um, Politics still, there were a lot of elections this year, as I mentioned before, and of course one important election was the election in the United States. The Europeans always look over the Atlantic and see how the election goes. Um, Mostly the political campaigns in the United States are about inner policy. Foreign policy never plays such a big role, although Europe really looks over to the United States and wants to see what their decisions for foreign policy are. Did he despawn? No. There he is. There they are. Oh man, we need to be careful with this dude. This is wow, 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 wow. Okay, let's trick him. Let's trick him a bit. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, give me back my sword, man. Are you kidding me? Wow. Scary. And yeah, Hugo Chavez, for example, if you talk about the complete opposite, dictatorship, was also quote unquote re-elected in Venezuela. Hugo Chavez, one of a very he's one of the biggest enemies political wise of the United States. Um, Pretty rich dude, lots of oil, suppressing the people there. Good friend of mine was married to a guy from Venezuela, so I had some insight what's happening there, and yeah, it's one of the worst dictatorships around. Very mean, and the freedom of people is almost zero. It's really bad. So Yeah, he's also still in business. Man, I'm done. I want to get out of here. I got some leaves. I'm going to just grow me trees and cut it there. That's for sure. Although now it's daytime, we could stay. It's friendly now. Yeah, let's harvest some more, maybe. Just a little bit. So we complete this stack here. So we have 2 stacks that will keep us going for a little bit. Alright. As we have some gear on, we should be able to survive a creeper blast now as well. That is something you really need to take care of. Okay, oak leaves. Why are we not picking it up? Ah, yeah, those were silk touched ones. I think I had some silk touched ones from the chest still. I'm not quite sure. Don't want to keep them, then they don't mix with the others I have. Okay, let's get some more. It's cool. Let me think, was there another election I could think of? Oh yeah, France. France, of course. Sarkozy, the best friend of Angela Merkel. He's no longer president of La Grande Nation. It's Hollande now. Well, the Germans are kind of skeptical about it because they don't know him well. Got along with Sarkozy pretty well. You have to know the history of Germany and France, of course. Yeah, we've been fighting each other for centuries. 2, 3, or 4 major wars against each other. Yeah, each side came out on top a few times, and yeah, for us it's important to have to build a friendship because we don't want to fight against each other anymore. So especially what happens in France is also always very interesting for the people in Germany who are interested in politics a bit, because we are fond of our good relationship to France by now. We consider them our best friends in Europe, or yeah, amongst our best friends. Even we have some history of war, as the Germans have with most countries actually in Europe. We attacked pretty much everybody. But for the last 60, 70 years, we've been behaving. And that is also one thing I think that is slowly but surely changing a bit in the world. I hope at least, the ugly German is slowly but surely replaced by a more friendly German who's trying to be supportive if we can. Of course, we're getting, so, for example, some criticism for our way of handling the financial crisis in other European neighbor countries like Greece, where we are saying, no, we are not trying to give you more money before you don't reorganize your political system. But honestly, I think it is correct. And in the end, the Germans always agreed to further help payments, for example, Greece, because it's also in our interest. We don't want the people in Greece to suffer. But of course, we also want the people in Greece, especially when I say the people, I say the politicians, to act. And there's some very, very rich people in Greece as well, and they could help the country also. The normal people in Greece, they're hardworking people, and they can't do nothing about the whole situation, but politics could. Yeah, we need to light out that place below there. Yeah. Also, we were talking about some tragedies. There was another, or not only one, a few horrible shootings again. When people go crazy, go on a killing frenzy. School shootings again in the United States, and everybody remembers the shooting in Colorado. That was really bad. What was this guy's name? James Holmes, I believe. He went in there when Batman premiered and shot countless people. It is crazy. Also in Germany, school shootings happen and stuff. It seems to be a new trend. It never really happened like that before Columbine, and after Columbine there seems to be the idea planted to some people's heads to take revenge for being bullied, and they want to take revenge in a yeah, you could definitely call it a crazy way, but just killing everybody And yeah, if you have that much trouble in school, I highly, suggest talk to your parents, talk to your teachers. Never, ever, even consider doing something like that. It's you do so much harm you can't even comprehend. You should. It's ridiculous to think about something like that, and nobody can be. It's not your right. It's not your right to do something like that. Even if you're bullied and maybe sometimes treated badly or whatnot, but it's impossible. And I hope nobody amongst our viewers here ever consider something like that. And if you have some trouble in school getting bullied, and talk to us. We're there as well. We try to be friends. Of course, we cannot like take care of each and every one, but I know my community is friendly, and I've often seen people commenting saying, "Man, dog, I got bullied and stuff," and I saw so many supportive comments from the community, and that is what it's all about. Much love, no hate, guys. Let's keep that spirit up in 2013. That's it for today. I hope you like that little look back in history. And yeah, if you have some things you want to talk about in the comments, bring it on. Would be nice to discuss, as usual, a bit about your experiences this year. See you soon. Woodpecker. Bye bye.